Good evening, everybody. This is Piteio from Veil of the Ages, and today we have finally the big announcement. First day of spring. It means that no matter how crazy the world around us is, or maybe precisely because of that, we are going to release the arena on Tabletop Simulator. It's going to be a free component that you can use to play the 9th Age if you are already an experienced player, or you can use to learn how to use tabletop miniature wargaming for your enjoyment and your amusement in these trying times where it's less easy to go around and meet friends. Well, you can do that on Tabletop Simulator. So how does this work? There is a website, a platform called Steam, and on Steam you can buy the game Tabletop Simulator. Within Tabletop Simulator, what you have essentially is a sandbox where you can create all sorts of games. So some people create free games called also mods, and some people create mods that you have to pay money for. I created a mod, this mod that you see here on screen, which is free for you to play. So you go on Steam, you get Tabletop Simulator if you don't have it already. Then you go to an area called the workshop, and in the workshop you type in Veil of the Ages, you find the mod, you subscribe to the mod, and then you will be able to play this version of the game. Now, what do you have in this game? So this is the starting screen, the screen that gets loaded when you start the game. And as you see here, there's a card for the controls, there's a card for the beginner players, and there's a card for the advanced players. And as these cards tell you, you can press Alt on the keyboard to magnify the content and to see that on screen. So imagine that you want to start as a beginner because you don't already know the 9th Age. You can take this path here to the left, and this is a series of 5 or 6 cards that show you how to play essentially any miniature wargaming type of game, but it is done specifically to make you ready to play the 9th Age, which is a free community-based game. So you get the chance to go around these different scenarios. You will be playing with an orc, Camorco, who's trying to enter into this arena behind these cards here, and Chiron and the other elven guards will be trying to stop Camorco from breaking in. And so, for example, in this first scenario, you will see what are the rules that you need to use for shooting. And then you will see that there's several colored dice that you can box select and roll to see whether you manage to kill your opponent. This first scenario teaches you how to do the shooting. You can also play a second scenario where you can learn the rules about charging, so to go against charge your enemy. You're going to have another scenario where you will be playing with the orc and the elf in close combat. Another one where you can learn the rules on how to move without necessarily charging your opponent. There's this very practical new image that we put in here that gives you a flow chart of how the actions in the turn are going to be performed. And then you are almost ready to put these two inside of the arena and use terrain, the rules for terrain over here. Now, once you've learned the basics, so shooting, charging, fighting, moving, and using terrain, you can go to this other side here, where you will find more gladiators than just the orc and the elf we've talked about, with a couple of more cards that you can use to learn how to play each of these warriors against each other of these warriors here, to introduce more variety. Once you've learned how to play with the orc and the elf, then you get a chance to play with the orc versus a demon, with the elf versus a dwarf, or with the forest spirit versus a demon, and so on and so forth. Once you've learned all of this, or if you already know how to play the 9th Age, then you can move to the arena part of the game. And here you see there's 6 characters, and each of these characters has plenty of special options. So I can show you, for example, this card for the demon, the Kulima's Deceiver, and you can go through all the different cards, for example, the profile with the special rules, some indication about what the special rules do, all the special options that have been added for this specific gladiator in the arena, special spells that the gladiator can cast, and also the other regular spells, for example. So you have 6 gladiators. You can use one of, you can roll this die here to know which is the gladiator that you can fight with. So in this case, we rolled for the prince. You can see that the logo is the same that you have here over the card. You can roll again, and this means that it would be a match between the prince and this is the logo for the demons. So Kulima's Deceiver versus High Prince. And you can take your 2 miniatures and you can carry them on top. You can move them on top of this area here. And you can be prepared to play, take your miniatures, move them into the arena, use this dice roller adapted by Mr. Stump to roll your die. You can use these other dice here, special dice, to track whether you are in the magic phase of this player, the combat phase, and so on and so forth. And of course, since this is a 3-dimensional game, you will get the chance to rotate the view around, for example, and choose the angle that you like best for looking at your miniatures here. Okay. So this is just a incredibly brief overview on how the arena works. I will be making the upload so that everybody can play with the arena in the Tabletop Simulator workshop on Steam. For the moment being, it's only open to the people who are my friends on Steam, but this will change in a few minutes. And let's see what else. I can tell you that the development of the arena will be ongoing, and it's something that will continue for a long time, especially as long as the community of players is interested in playing with this. So for example, now I see that in the YouTube chat we have our friends from the Proxy Table Gaming channel saying hello guys, I miss you, when do we play online, come on, let's have a game. The guys are busy. And as long as we have people who are interested in playing and maybe using your own YouTube channel to host battles between gladiators, all you have to do is simply download the free arena for Tabletop Simulator if you have Tabletop Simulator. If you don't have Tabletop Simulator, you will have to buy a license of Tabletop Simulator. I've seen around some licenses that are less than €9 for a live license. So you can get very good deals for Tabletop Simulator every now and then, the special offers. And it's a bit like giving you a free PDF that you can print at home, and you can play this card game at home with this home printed PDF. Essentially, we don't give you the printer, we give you the PDF. And in this case, we give you the mod, we don't give you Tabletop Simulator, you will have to get that yourself. But apart from that, our contribution as Veil of the Ages to the game is going to be a free contribution. You can feel free to help us on Patreon. We have a Patreon page, which is Patreon Veil of the Ages, as you can imagine. And here in this little shrine here, you can see all of the contributors that have helped us create the game and make it available for all of you to play for free on Tabletop Simulator and on Steam. So every month we will add new gladiators to the arena. Our patrons will get to decide through polls which warrior is it going to be, how is it going to look like, which type of special upgrades and equipment it will have. You can start with a simple €2 donation. It's already going to be great for us. It's going to help us keeping the development open and the game free, especially. I'm emphasizing this point. We want the game to be free, and so we need a bit of support for that. So if you do join the Patreon, you have huge gratitude from our side. And I think that we can keep this video as short as possible, actually, and just say around 10 minutes. So with this, I can say goodbye, and I really hope to see you soon again in the arena. Bye, everybody.